Okay, everyone, I'm really, really excited today because I have the privilege of talking to Janel Parrish, aka Margot, from the To All the Boys series. And it's really exciting because coming out soon to Netflix is the third and final installment to All the Boys, Always and Forever. Janelle, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. So what's I just watched the film last night. I loved it. And what's really interesting about the third film is it really kind of lays into the relationship and how important your character of Margot is to Lara Jean. So knowing in real life that you have an older sister, do you take from that relationship? She's like how she talks to you to how you portray Margot to Lara Jean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my sister is my Margot in every way. I remember when she left to go to college, I cried and was mad at her that she was abandoning me. Very similar to Lara Jean when she finds out that Margot's going off to college in Scotland. I rely on her for everything. She's my best friend, my confidant. So I had never been a big sister before. I never even played a big sister. So when getting ready for Margot, I definitely drew from my own big sister and what a sounding board she was for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's great that you could take from your personal life to bring to this role. And it really shows well. And I love about your character too is in the first film where, Margot just drops Josh when she gets to a school in Scotland. Can you kind of compare Margot to our main character, Laura Jean, and where that main difference is, but how valuable that kind of is?
Yeah, I think with Margot, like she knows exactly what she wants. She sees so clearly what her path is and all the steps that she needs to take to get there. She's very methodical. This is my plan, and this is what I need to do in order to do it. And I'm so focused, and that's what it is. And Lara Jean, who I'm more like, I'm not like Margot at all. Is more just like, but my feelings, and I'm pulled in this direction, and what about this direction, and fantasies and fantasizing what could be, and Margot was like, okay, that's great, but come back to the real world and let's think things out and be methodical. And so it's kind of funny because in real life, I'm the Lara Jean and my sister is the Margot who's like, okay, but focus. Like, what do we got to do in this situation?
Right. No, that's really funny actually. And also, speaking of funny, kind of switching gears a bit, but I think you're one of the funniest social media presence, and that's on Twitter and Instagram. And what I love about your Insta story is that you were posting like behind the scenes yesterday of your press tour. And I actually thought it was really cool to see because you got like the books like we all do on the computer. You even put on one of your pictures, you got the Christmas PJs on.
I sure,
Now,
I got my blanket today.
I love that. So is that like, is that if there's one thing that's like, you could take as a positive from how like the world's kind of operate now, like, are you going to kind of miss this about press tours now? Like in the times where you could just be in your pajamas where you couldn't do that in the past?
You know what? This is actually making me appreciate more going out and doing press. I always was sort of somebody who would get really nervous and, getting in the car, going to a new place. I was like, oh, I'm feeling a little anxious. I'm getting the butterflies. Like, I'd always just be worried that the day wouldn't go well. And then by the time the day was over, I'd be like, what a great day. I wish I didn't worry so much because it was so wonderful. And now doing it from home, as lovely as it is to sit here with my, PJ bottoms and my blanket, I'm like, wow, I really appreciate and miss the days where we would get to travel for press and be in the same room with our co-stars and be in the same room with you guys and have that one-on-one experience. So perspective, it's definitely made me, I think I won't get as anxious or nervous anymore because I miss it. It was a really special
Wow.
to have that.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And it's interesting too because that answer you just gave is very genuine and real. And I think that you also on your presence in social media is very genuine and real. And I actually love that because you had a tweet on January 19th that was, I just danced around my kitchen to One Day More.
Yeah.
Now, Les Mis is one of is my favorite play by miles. And I know you played young Cosette. I
Yeah.
have to ask this question, but if you were to play in Les Mis today, who would you want to play now that you're older?
Now that I'm older, man, I don't know because my voice falls right in between Eponine and little Cosette, but I feel like my soul wants to play Eponine because I just love how angsty her role is and how powerful her songs are. So, or maybe Fontaine. No, but
Okay.
Eponine has more songs. I'm gonna go with Eponine.
Love it. And that's a great pick. And I think you would totally kill it. So I hope one day it happens.
Thank you.
So wrapping things up, going back to the film, knowing this is the final film in this series, was it really emotional on set? Is there something also that you would take away from this experience that you'd bring to the rest of your career?
Yeah, man, we just feel so grateful. I mean, when we filmed the first movie, we knew there were 3 books, but there's no guarantee that the movie's going to take off enough for you to be able to do 2, let alone all 3 movies. So to finally be here, debuting our 3rd movie is so bittersweet. We're so proud. We can't wait for the fans to see it. It's truly a beautiful ending to Lara Jean's story, as well as a beginning to the next chapter of her life. But yeah, that last day, we were lucky. We all got to rap together, the 3 sisters in Korea, and there were lots of tears. It's just a beautiful, beautiful journey that's coming to an end. But yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss, especially I love the scenes with the 3 sisters together, and I think it really is at the core the most important part of this story, and it's represented really well in this series. And I have to ask one more question before I lose you. Is that because you're in quarantine like all of us, is there anything recently on Netflix that you could suggest that you actually enjoyed watching or have
okay.
jumped into?
I binge the hell out of Bridgerton. I'm
Oh,
one of
hell
those.
yeah.
Like, I was like, all right, let's see what this fuss is all about. I watched all episodes in 2 days. I did not leave my.
Wow.
I was obsessed. It's so fun.
Oh, that's awesome to hear.
I
That's
mean, it was
just, see, everyone, if you haven't watched Bridgerton, that's your best suggestion you can get from Janel Parrish
pick of the month.
herself. Yep. And after that, you should obviously binge To All the Boys
I love this.
series. Yep. And Always and Forever is coming out February 12th on Netflix, the final chapter in this story. You get to see Janelle as Margot. Janelle, I cannot wait to watch it. And thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Have a good one.